Today I'm installing my new Camber arms from Hone Developments. If you've been following along on our channel, you have known that a couple episodes ago I went to Speed Syndicate, a race shop in St. Petersburg, Florida, to try to get my car corner balanced with my new suspension from K-Tuned and from Hone Developments. We ran into an issue when I got there. They checked over the car and they found a lot of play in my camber arms. The one thing that isn't from either of those companies. These Password JDM camber kits were on my car pretty recently. I'd say almost probably a year ago I bought these and put them on after my Skunk 2 camber kits failed. I couldn't adjust them anymore. They were rusty. The bushings kept going. So I decided to upgrade to spherical ones. Password JDM makes this. It seemed like a good, solid improvement. It's spherical bushings, and they seemed really beefy, basically. But what do I know? So I bought them, and I think they've seen probably 4 track days. And Speed Syndicate took a look at them. They even took apart the camber kit, and they said that the design seems a little bit poor for what a camber arm on these cars are doing. Camber arm moves like this. It doesn't move any other way. There's a lot of movement in this bushing. It may not be really appropriate for the application, and that was their assessment. They work on real IMSA race cars, so they see the top of the top race suspension on $500,000 race cars. So they know a little bit about racing. So they said I needed to get better camber arms because they couldn't do a corner balance, because with the play in these bushings, they said that there would be a lot of toe and camber misalignment constantly, so they wouldn't be able to get a good corner balance. That was a bummer. But my friends at Hone Development have sent me their camber arms. They are made with top-of-the-line Aurora bushings. Speed Syndicate actually recommended Aurora bushings before they even knew about Honed. And I looked up Honed, and that's what they use. Honed uses the best in the business. Their camber arm design is a little bit different. It's a lot different than what I got from Password JDM. Actually, it goes like this. I mean, you can tell this end is a lot smaller. It doesn't really need to be as big as this. And this end is a completely different setup. They have this large bushing and pivot arm here. And then there's also height adjustments that you can do with this camber setup. So I'll show you guys that in a minute, where there's a bracket that goes in here that can give you actually a different setup to give you a different swing arm angle. So the guys at Honed are engineers, so they have engineered some really cool features into this camber arm for this application. I think it's going to be a really good improvement. It's going to make my suspension even better because the swing arm angle will be optimized, and I will put a link to what that means because I'm not really sure. But it will be optimized because there's different settings. So it'll be optimized with my roll center brackets and the ride height. So the ride height, everything will be even better. So let's get going. I'm going to show you guys how to set these up, and we will get these on the car. So Honed sends with their kit these special brackets that go inside the camber end here. I'll show you guys. And they're for different swing arm angles. So obviously you can either have it like this or like this. So I'll show you. You put it in. Oh no. So it fits in there. And then you can either have it like that, or you can pop it out and have it like that. This is actually, if you have OEM suspension geometry, you want to have it like this. For their Honed roll center kit, you want to actually have it the second plate, which is the center. So you want it like that, centered. If you have the Honed rear roll center correction kit, which I do, so I will be able to use the center pieces. You just pop them in. Now the bolts will go through these holes in the center, give me a proper angle, and all the geometry will be correct.
Brennan? 75. 73. And back one. All right, let's go to the front.
Okay guys, so please go to our website, refine-movement.com, and pick up some stickers. We have all of our stickers available, so please go check those out, pick some up, help support our channel. That was a really cool process to get done. I was glad I stayed and watched them do it. It did take about 5 hours to get the car corner balanced and aligned. It's actually a very intricate process because the car has to come up off the scales and then adjustments have to be made and then come back down on the scales and see where you're at, see where the car sits, where the weight is, see where the toe and the camber are. Adjustments at each wheel can affect other wheels of the car because all the wheels are independent, but the weight shifts and then the ride height and the other settings can be changed on other parts of the car. But I'm super happy I did this because since I've been tracking this car, it's never had a proper alignment, and I think that's going to be huge now because I have a almost fully built suspension. And I think an alignment, especially corner balance and alignment, is really important because I noticed last time at the track that my front driver's side tire, it's pretty much ruined because of the bad balance of the car, and me sitting up front on that corner, I've roasted that tire. So I got to get a new tire before the new track day. But I wanted to tell you all my numbers because that's also super interesting because I've done a lot of mods to this car and I've wanted to know really how much it weighs. This model, the DX model, the EJ6 model, weighs 2,342 pounds. I believe that's with no gas in it. And this car, as it sits with no person in it and no gas, is 2,044 pounds. So this car has lost 300 pounds from stock form. So that's huge. With me in the car and a full tank of gas, the car weighs 2380. So just about stock with me in the car and a full tank of gas. Any mods that I do, I can do weights and I can see, you know, how the car changes. The camber settings I have up front, the camber settings I have now are -3 up front, technically -3. There's a little bit more, a little bit less, but around -3 degrees of camber. And then in the rear, I have about just over -2, maybe close to 2.5. My toe, I have a little bit of toe out up front, 0.75 millimeters of toe out. And then in the rear, Hone Developments recommends some toe in with the roll center correction brackets. I know that's not very common, but that's what they recommend. So 0.5 millimeter of toe in the rear. They asked me up front what was I needing at the track, what was the car doing, how it felt, and I just felt like it needs a little bit more front end grip, especially on corner exit. They really recommend having a good amount of rake, having the rear end ride height be a little bit higher than the front, especially for front wheel drive. So they worked a lot on the rear end to get the ride height where they thought it would be optimized. So they had the car off the ground about 4 times trying to get the ride height right in the rear. And then they made adjustments to the front. Also, let you guys know, this is an interesting little fact. the weight distribution is 51.5%. So I think that's probably as best as they could get it. So I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be good, guys. So I got my transmission back from them. That's gonna be up next. That'll be soon, but it's not gonna be next week. That will be soon, but it's not gonna be next week. Gonna be working on the car, but there won't be a video next week, and I'm not sure when there will be a video next, but there will be a new video soon, and we'll be at the track shortly, so we will be able to test out the transmission, and I will tell you guys all about that in that video. Please go subscribe to our channel. If you have not subscribed already, what are you doing? That really helps us out. Please share the videos with your friends. Like, you can comment if you have a nice comment to say, or you don't want to be a jerk. We welcome all those kinds of comments. Go buy some stickers, help support us. Go down right now on the YouTube video. If you just scroll down past the description, there's going to be our t-shirts available on Teespring. Go check out our t-shirts. If they interest you, please go pick those up. I'm going to be having those soon to show you in person. And I'm excited to have t-shirts because that's just cool. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.